What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out the Unity Cup, and we're gonna be taking some potential risks in here. I want to see what this looks like. All right, so we should be able to win this one here. I've been playing it for a little bit now, but let me know in the comments down below how you feel about it personally. I am trying to do it with Tokai Teio anime version. This should be pretty interesting. I don't know, we'll see. If I fail at training though, it is what it is. I'm gonna probably just take some risks. Win, win, draw, win, and win. But we had already won it because we were, we got 3 wins. But ultimately, though, that is super cool. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Let's get this video to a like goal of 100 likes. Very easy to do. Team rank went up. Let me know in the comments as well. There was a ton of updates that went through recently. Okay, where can we get the most upgrades? Guts is looking good. There's not really anything really out here. I could probably rest, but I'll just take Guts. Anyway, there was a ton of updates that came through. So many, like dozens of changes came through. So that was a humongous update overall. And, as a result, looking at speed and width, these are both really good. As a result, there was a lot of changes that came just in general. And the Unity Cup is pretty cool. But I will say it takes a little bit of getting used to. This is like my 3rd attempt trying to run it and figure out the way it all works. But I have seen the stat potential is so much higher here, it looks like. So that is a really cool outcome. We are really low. Let's see if we get, of course, 1 in 5 chance. 1 in 5 chance. Okay, great. Now I need to spend 2 turns fixing this. She's in bad mood. I should be able to get her back to great pretty quickly. We are going to go on a recreation here after we clear off the practice pour. So goodbye. Oh, actually, I don't know if that's one of those conditions, but I do know there's some conditions that you can rest away, like during summertime, which is ironic because I was coming out of summertime when I picked that up. So anyway, back to great. Nice. It only took me 2 turns. All right, so we're gonna go with Taiki here. But yeah, I'm also sick. It's really hard to talk, to be honest with you. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below how you feel about this. But ultimately, I've been super enjoying Uma Musume, and I'm going to definitely try to get out more content on it. But I want to talk to you about another game that I am really enjoying, and it is really eating up a lot of my time. If you're into games where team's energy and timing actually matter, this is something you'll probably enjoy too. The game I've been enjoying is called Raid Shadow Legends, and I know it's been around for a while, but it's honestly gotten way deeper than I expected. And right now they're doing one of the biggest bonus events I've ever seen. So let me break that down for you really quick. If you haven't started yet, hit my link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen and you'll get some crazy good bonuses that are only available through that link. By doing so, you'll instantly unlock a huge starter pack with 2 epic champions. Drake from the Lizardmen faction, who is amazing at keeping your team alive. And when you reach level 15, you'll get Tagoar from the Orcs, another solid epic who's great for early progression. On top of that, new players can pick one of 6 different legendary champions with these promo codes. Use code TREEHUGGER for Green Warden. Use GETALICE for Alice the Wanderer. Use DESERTQUEEN for Tuhanerak. Use MONKEYKING for Sun Wukong. Use DEMONSLAYER for Tholin Foulbeard. Or UDKING for the Ultimate Death Knight. My pick would personally be Sun Wukong because he's going to be amazing for you in all stages of the game, but especially in Arena. And I just love the mythology around him, of course. But once again, make sure you do it through my link specifically on the screen right now. Because if you do it any other way, I can't promise that it'll work for you. Speaking of Ultimate Death Knight, he's actually back right now, and new players can get him completely for free with the promo code. And he's one of the best defensive legendaries in the game. He takes single target hits for your team, heals himself, and even shields and heals your whole squad. So if you want to choose him, he's not around often. Now is the perfect time to get started. Make sure that if you're playing, you also play on PC through Plarium Play. You guys can get the epic skill tomes, the 5-star chicken, this new 250 Plarium points, and the multi-battles, energy, and some silver. This is a pretty cool gift that's available for the next month. So make sure that you are claiming this as well. That is pretty awesome. And again, they do get shot directly into your gift box. That's pretty cool. Also, a lot of times on PC, they will have events, if you haven't already seen it, like some little mini game events. There was one pretty recently as well that you can participate in. So those all got shot into the gift box. That's really cool. And that is something that you guys should absolutely be doing. So today we're So today we're diving back into Cursed City here. So this is pretty cool. There is still a good bit that I haven't been able to complete. The cool thing about Cursed City is that it really does push you to want to build up and advance some of your teams and your characters to start building these factions out so you can start using them in a more reliable way, right? There's so many characters that I have that are really good, but have I built them out fully? No, not exactly. And so the good thing about it is that, like, obviously in the short term or in the long term, that's something you want to work to. But in the short term, you know, sometimes you can hit a stage where you can use 1 or 2 characters and they can clear it for you, or there's a lot of different pathways you can go down to get some free rewards by playing this, even if you don't have certain factions fully built up to build these other teams to meet the certain requirements. So we're gonna just jump to hard mode, because on hard mode I should be able to play just a little bit further into this. We'll see what it looks like. I'm not exactly sure, because they want me to use like lizard men and stuff, and I don't really have this built out like I've been saying, so it doesn't look like we're actually gonna press too hard in there. I mean, Donatello may be able to do something. I'm not so sure he can. We'll see what we can do. I mean, I could bring in other characters to help me with this, I guess. They're not, again, not fully built out, but it is what it is. All right, let's see what we have here. Okay, so it does look like Donatello can do it, as he started off with the Shell Shocker and one-shot nearly everybody, so that's pretty great. But for the rest of the team, they are not going to do a ton of damage here. But Akemuta, I forget how to pronounce the middle one's name. He is the next most invested in character, and he should be fine. So actually, the fact that we're able to clear this tells me that on normal mode, I probably can clear that wave that does have, or stage that does have Lizard Man and stuff like that available to it. So not the biggest deal. I'm glad that I was able to kind of figure this out. But, you know, I talked about Sun Wukong earlier. Sun Wukong is on this team. I have not invested in him on this account specifically. However, he is a character that I do think that, again, you guys should be building out. And as somebody that's played Raid for a while here, he is a character that I use a good bit on my other account, and he has been extremely useful to me in a number of modes. The block ability he has, other things like that, are very, very, very strong. And he's going to be a character I build out pretty soon here to plug into a Hydra team. It's something I need. I think he's, again, extremely reliable and will carry you for a lot of the game. Speaking of carry, Acrizia there is really, 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 really strong. I am just now building that character out. Don't have the skill tomes invested in their skills yet, but as you can see, they mostly are performing pretty fine. As long as the other guys here at level 1 are here just to eat some hits for me, that's all I truly need. Maybe they can do a little bit of damage every now and again, but as long as they're here just eating hits for me, then that's mostly fine. That's all I really need, is that allows for Acrizia to get going. As you see, it's a little bit slower than the last wave with the AoEs and all that stuff. And Donnie was a more invested in character. But, so let's move on from here. All right, so we got that one down. We have some Gaelics in there. Okay, so the target did go to Gaelic. I'll let it finish off this one here. Skeletor, no! All right, so maybe Acrizia will struggle now that, yeah, okay, so she was not as invested in, like I mentioned, haven't even put masteries there, but that's an extremely strong character, one of the best ones. Like, if you pull an Acrizia, you've mostly beaten Raid. This is a character that's good in mostly any form of content. So, level 120 enemies, but mostly good in any form of content that you can use and be really reliable with. Now, I do wonder if this setup can do it. We do have a mythical champion on this team with Ophidius here, so we'll actually see if this setup can do it. Again, some champs that are under-leveled and stuff, but maybe they'll get the job done. Oh, we do need a certain requirement in terms of advances, or ascensions, excuse me. Awakens? Awakens. I need to go back and set this out. So quick note, I've actually been really enjoying Raid, and I'm not just saying that, I'm actually dead serious. As you see, I've been playing for a good bit here. My account has a good bit of investment in it. It's still like mid-game, it's nothing fancy or anything, but I have been really enjoying it, and I wanted to show you guys some of my favorite champions in action in this video. So we do have a speed dungeon, or a dragon. So real talk, I have really been enjoying Raid, and I am not joking, I'm not lying or anything like that because it's a sponsored video or anything like that, but so real talk, I have really been enjoying Raid, and I'm not joking, I'm not making that up, I'm not lying to you. I have cleared a good bit of content. As you see, this is stage 10 of hard mode, the last stage of Dragon's Lair. Like, obviously, I played a decent bit to get to this point as I drop my headphones. But we're going to go ahead and just play, and I'll show you guys some of my favorite champions in action in some of the content. But we're going to go to stage 1 here overall, though. But moving on, though, we do have a speed drop for artifacts. And so when it comes to artifacts, speed is going to be one of the best artifact sets you can get throughout just the game, because this is a turn-based game, so speed is extremely powerful, but especially early game. Early game, you really want that speed investment. So that being said, we are going to be trying to capitalize on that, see what we can do, see if we can get some more good artifact drops for that. So let's go ahead and go in with this team and see what they accomplish and go from there. So I let me know in the comments as well, if you started playing, what champion is your favorite and why? For me, I really like Deacon Armstrong. I really like Sun Wukong, like I mentioned earlier. He is not built up on this account. However, he is a champion that I have traditionally on another account used a lot, and he's carried me through a ton of content. So again, I do think he'd be a great starter for you. But I really do like Deacon here. He is the epic champion on my team. One thing I think is really cool about this game is that there's several epic champions like Deacon, who's again the guy in the middle of my team. But a guy like him, a character like Ugo, Geomancer, some of the other characters that you can use that are epic rarity. Like, you don't necessarily need mythicals or legendary champions. You can use even some rares, like a Kyle or some other characters like War Maiden. You can use a lot of different champions in this game, and I think that's a really good draw for this, is that it does have a lot of I would say viability with a lot of the champions, and so you can come into harder content and use those champions. Some of them are actually even extremely strong as your main DPS. Like, you may think maybe that just means that they're plugged in as like a secondary character. That's not exactly the case. A character like Coldheart, which is one of the rare champion of Void Infinity, is really powerful in a lot of content, right? This team is kind of struggling here. This is not my traditional team. This team is kind of struggling here. I'm not sure they'll be able to push this. I may need to transform my mythical. We'll see if we have to do that in a second. But yeah, there's a lot of different champions in this game. There's a lot of them that are extremely powerful. So if mythical champions can transform, that is not something that I mean, you could start with the mythical, but it's going to be pretty hard to do. It could be. But overall, though, again, I was just talking about the value of lower rarity or higher, the lowest rarity possible, right? Or some of the lowest rarity possible anyway, with like rare champions and how they can be extremely useful to you. Oh my god, it's the hard dragon. I love how he's got that greenish going on, man. All right, so got some HP burns out there. He shot a ton of debuffs back at me, but I think we should be fine. We have enough, I think, crowd control, especially if I flip Ophidius back, but I don't plan on necessarily doing that. He's taking the stance, but that's okay. We did more than enough with the damage output. Ninja's doing great on the side there, and I say this as soon as I say that, he goes down, for the record. As soon as I say that, he goes down. It is what it is, man. They are really struggling. Like I said, not my traditional team. I tried to shift it up and be fancy for this video, but they are really struggling. Deacon also going down so early was not great. Yeah, it looks like they're going to take this hit and not really have anything they can do about it, unfortunately. Yep, there it is. But they didn't go down, though, thankfully. So they're still in the game. We're still in the game. So one thing that really impacts and determines your team's survivability in content like this is also their gear sets, their artifacts. Like, all these champions have various ways to improve them. They've got their own levels, which you can push all the way up or their own level, yeah, but their star levels as well, which you can push all the way up to 6 stars. And then there was one, as we're going to lose this, which you can push all the way up to 6 stars on every different rarity champion. They've got Ascensions, they've got Awakenings. These are all different various ways to enhance champions, which I guess now I can show you. But they've also got gear and stuff like that too. So there's just a lot that kind of goes into advancing the champions. And so, in my opinion, that means that there's a lot of wiggle room and a lot of customization and I think replayability and something always to kind of grind for and chase in this game if that's something that you're interested in, right? So, and you could also even do relics. Like, there's a relic crafting system and stuff like that. I don't want to overwhelm you, right? But there's a good bit to this that comes in terms of like advancing your characters. And obviously, as my account's still kind of mid-game, we're not at a point yet where we have the ability to really show you the tippy top. I mean, especially if I'm not going to use my primary team. But also, look at some of these champions in general, just art-wise. Look at Tagoar here. He looks so epic. He's epic, too. It's funny. But he looks amazing, dude. Absolutely amazing. If I recall correctly, he may be one of those champions you're getting with the code, right, in the very beginning. Anyway, I have him. He's pretty awesome. Really strong champion. I'm building him out fully now. Really nice. Vizix, this is a champion that you get for free for logging in a certain number of days. Very powerful, especially for your early game accounts. And also, you know, I spent a lot of time talking about some of the rarer champions, lower rarity champions that are really good for you. There's a number of champions throughout the game that are also just like login champions, like Still of the Drakes, that can be really good for you too throughout your progression. Like Still of the Drakes here for 180 days. She's extremely strong. I was using her, I believe, in that last fight or somewhere in there. High Katoon for your first 30 days. High Katoon is a really powerful champion to get off the rip for your first month completing the game. Increases your speed in all battles. Also has some turn meter stuff here. Again, turn meter, speed, all that stuff is king in this game, as it's a turn-based game. You guys should be familiar with that if you've ever played a turn-based game, right? That's a pretty standard functionality. We did lose that, but it is what it is, man. I want to show you just some of the other stuff that we have here while we're kind of just floating around, as I'll have to grind that on my own time. We do have campaign, which is just the standard story mode, right? But they have all the different difficulties. If you complete all of the different objectives in every single section, you will get shards, including a sacred shard. There's a couple of sacred shards in here, I believe. Yes, for brutal and nightmare. That's really nice. Dungeon, there's a various number of dungeons to farming different things, from gear to stuff to work with your artifacts to stuff to ascend your characters, so on and so forth. Faction Wars is kind of an interesting like end game type of content, and I say that because it requires you to have basically a ton of different champions from a ton of different factions built up to really progress. So this is not something that you're really going to progress too deep into early, but when you do complete it, you do have a nice reward here for Lydia, but that will take a good bit of time. Arena is something you can jump into. There's actually various forms of arena. They've got the standard arena here, where you just play against somebody's defense. They've also got a live arena, which is live now, where you have a live PvP, and there are rewards that you can get daily, and then seasonal rewards as well. And then also they've got a tag arena, so you have just a full team, and you got 3 different teams you can go through and you can play with, and you can play against. That's the same format as classic arena, where it's just a set defense that you would attack. Clan boss is one of the most important forms of content in the game. Stay tuned, because I'll be diving deeper into clan boss for my second video. Or my next video on raid on the channel here. But clan boss is extremely important, because this is going to be your primary way. Ultimately, you want to work towards progressing here. It's going to be your primary way to get some of these higher end resources, like a sacred shard, which is where a lot of your legendary pulls will come from, as that's the best pull rate in the game for legendaries specifically. There are also other clan bosses, Hydra and Chimera. Those are more end game than the Demon Lord, but they require different stuff. But they're also where you're going to get a ton of rewards. And for those two specifically, they throw you into this ranking thing where you compare your overall damage for your alliance, for your clan, versus opponents as well. So moving on from that, we also do have Doom Tower. So Doom Tower is here as a tower mode. It does have the 2 different difficulties. Every single stage does have the rewards for you. Now is also a great time to play, because Dark Fae is in here, and you want to be farming Dark Fae, because Dark Fae gives a great drop for rewards. It's time for Dark Fae. Make sure that you are participating when you start off in Doom Tower. Again, you need to be doing it. Cursed City. This is something that basically it asks you to, there's a map here. There's a bunch of different fights you can do. They ask you to use different factions, etc. You can go in there and use those different teams that correlate with the different factions and be able to participate in that and get the rewards for it as well. And then Siege is like, you set defenses, your whole clan sets defenses, and then you attack opponents and their defenses. Now, when you initially start the game, I neglected to mention this. When you initially start the game, you will have to level up to unlock some of this content. It just won't be there from day one, but that's something else you can strive towards and work towards in terms of progressing. So once again, if you haven't started yet, hit my link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen, and you'll get some crazy good bonuses that are only available through that link. By doing so, you'll instantly unlock a huge starter pack with 2 epic champions. Drake from the Lizardman faction, who is amazing at keeping your team alive. And when you reach level 15, you'll get Tagoar from the Orcs, another solid epic who's great for early progression. On top of that, new players can pick one of 6 different legendary champions with these promo codes. Use code TREEHUGGER for Green Warden. Use GETALICE for Alice the Wanderer. Use Desert Queen for Tuhanerak. Use MONKEYKING for Sun Wukong. Use DEMONSLAYER for Tholan Foulbeard. Or UDKING for the Ultimate Death Knight. My pick would personally be Sun Wukong because he's going to be amazing for you in all stages of the game, but especially in Arena. And when you do, find me under the name Spotlight22 and in the clan Husaria. You guys can find me there as well. So thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.